Don't Breathe is the latest horror movie directed by Fede Alvarez, the same director as the 2013 Evil Dead, which had fans split, either loving it or hating it. Don't Breathe is set to come out on August 26, 2016. The film stars Jane Levy as the character Rocky. Jane Levy is also set to be in the new Twin Peaks series coming in 2017. The film also stars Stephen Lang, who most notably played the main antagonist in James Cameron's Avatar in 2009. The film centers around a girl named Rocky, trying to start a better life for herself and her family, eventually getting approached by her boyfriend to help him and his friend Alex rob an old, wealthy blind man. Though Rocky is typically a morally good person, she sets that aside to help her family's current money problems. This, of course, would be something she later comes to regret. As it turns out, the blind man is a deranged serial killer. He soon knows that they are in the house and begins to hunt them down one by one, but not before shutting off all of the lights. Now the teens are blind and walking in the pitch black trying to escape. The film is being compared to the video game Outlast, which has an eerie, similar horror survival feel like this movie. Don't Breathe is rated R and has a runtime of 1 hour 28 minutes. The critic reviews have been great thus far, and it even has a score of 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, if you're in the mood for a great horror film, this is definitely one you should go see.
You ready?
I think so.
Before I Wake is a new horror movie set to come out on September 9th, 2016, directed by Mike Flanagan and starring Jacob Tremblay, Kate Bosworth and Thomas Jane. The story centers around a young couple who decide to adopt a loving 8-year-old boy named Cody. The couple soon discover that their new adopted son has a very obscure ability. When Cody falls asleep, his dreams become a reality. At first, the couple is amazed, trying to understand how this is possible, but things quickly take a darker path. You see, it's whatever Cody is dreaming about that becomes real, including his nightmares. That's when a dark entity slips from the cracks of Cody's subconsciousness to wreak havoc upon Cody and his new family. Though the film only has a PG-13 rating, turning some off to seeing the film, others are optimistic, praising the film for its originality. Hopefully, this will be nearly as good as director Mike Flanagan's last film, Hush, which was praised by many. Overall, the film seems to have a strong director and cast that might be able to pull this through. There is a lot that can happen in a horror movie when it's based upon the imagination of a young child. Some critics are saying that it's a great film, but that it's more of a fantasy movie than a horror. If a more abstract look at horror movies is something that you may be interested in, then you might want to check this out. Blair Witch 2016 is a sequel film to the original 1999 Blair Witch Project. The latest film is directed by Adam Wingard, who is definitely no novice when it comes to filmmaking, specifically in the horror genre. Adam has directed films such as VHS, VHS 2, You're Next, and the upcoming Death Note film. Many of his films, such as VHS, have been praised for their originality, not only in script, but in cinematography aspects. To get a good grasp of the latest Blair Witch movie, you're going to have to first understand the original 1999 film. The film takes place as a young group of filmmakers set out to shoot a documentary about an urban legend called the Blair Witch. As they make their way through the town where the Blair Witch is believed to live by, they begin to piece together a location that might help them on their discovery. Their journey then takes them deep into the woods, and that's when the real horror begins. The original Blair Witch is a terrific film, one that every horror fan should see. What makes the original stand out was the way it was directed. During many of the scary parts of the film, the actors were not told what was going to happen, so many of the reactions were purely genuine. The film was also marketed as a true event, resulting in audience members trembling in fear. The film was also made on an extremely small budget of $60,000, which is incredible once you hear that the movie generated $248.6 million at the box office. It instantly became a staple in the horror genre. Now, the latest film, Blair Witch, takes place sometime after the events of the original. Our main protagonist and his friends go on a hunt for his sister from the first film, who he believes is still alive. Some are skeptical about this, saying that we should not return to the Blair Witch universe. On the other hand, others are quite happy and are looking forward to getting more of a conclusive answer as to what happened in the first movie. The film is set to release on September 16th, 2016, and if it's anything like the original, then prepare for a heart-pounding hour-and-a-half thrill ride. The movies on this list so far are all cinema releases. However, if you don't have access to such a place, this next one is for you horror fans who keep up with the latest DVD releases. The Conjuring 2 was released on June 10th, 2016 in theaters, and the DVD and Blu-ray copies are set to be released on September 13th, 2016, which happens to be just in time for Halloween. The Conjuring 2 is a direct sequel to the original Conjuring from 2013. Both of the films star Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who you might recognize from the popular American TV series Bates Motel. The Conjuring 2 was directed by James Wan, who directed the first movie and wrote the original Saw film in 2004. James is definitely an expert when it comes to making a gripping horror movie. He has directed, produced, and written many films such as Saw, Insidious Chapter 1 and 2, Lights Out, and is said to be the director of the upcoming Aquaman movie in 2018. The plot of both the Conjuring films center around Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are both real-world renowned paranormal investigators. In the first Conjuring film, Ed and Lorraine are contacted to help a family that is dealing with a potential haunting at their newly purchased home. Things quickly change once the team learns they are not just dealing with a ghost, but in fact a demon possession. All in all, The Conjuring is a great horror film with great writing and amazing performances by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. It's a film that every horror connoisseur should watch. Now, the sequel is no different. We are yet again given an amazing performance by all the actors. The directing was spot on, and the dialogue really kept it all together. Some fans like it even more than the original, which could be due to the fact that the film was given a much bigger budget, so they had a lot to work with. The film starts off a few years after the events of the first movie. We begin to see the couple, Ed and Lorraine, being interviewed on TV. They are both being heavily criticized as a skeptic claims that all of their accounts are untrue. We eventually cut to the Hodgson family in London, United Kingdom. The family soon discovers sinister supernatural happenings going on in their home. Things only escalate when one of the daughters begins to sleepwalk. Without spoiling anything, this is a definite must-see horror movie. It's rare to get such a great script, director, and acting performance in the horror genre, but somehow The Conjuring keeps pulling it off. So, if you're in the mood for a great horror film that you don't have to leave your house to go see, then you should pick up The Conjuring 2 this September.